real quick, we started out as space sloths on our planet of Twitch in the star system of Prime, and we love aliens. We're friendly sloths. We're trying to be as friendly to everyone we can be. So we exited our home, colonizing our corner of the galaxy, the Druskish Enlightened Kingdom. Our people are peaceful. We are xenophile. We love aliens, and also we're spiritual. We do believe that there is a bigger purpose for us out there. Part of that purpose has been to enlighten some neighboring primitive species. So we've got a little buddy there, and then we've also bumped into some neighbors. So the purple blobs is actually a federation of 4 different smaller groups, and they have been at war with the gray blob south of them, which is a hive mind, and the gray one has proven superior. Not only is the gray one here, but it also has a hive mind to our north. Everyone loves us. We're not worried about who wins out on these. Everyone loves us. And then also, I think the gray ones have been gobbling up some guys over here. However, the big concern on everyone's minds, the elephant in the room, is the Mishran Annihilators. A couple of sessions of gaming ago, we've discovered the Mishran Annihilators through whispers of a nameless evil, from refugees looking for a new home because they had been displaced by these Annihilators. And we had found out, it actually gives you intel every time you get refugees arriving. And in fact, we have some more refugees. They're arriving from somebody else, these guys. But we found out that these guys, back when they kind of had this block, I'm going to zoom out, just this block of stars, they were conquering the neighboring block of stars, and the people who used to live there ran to our people, because we like aliens. And they've been growing and growing. And so they went from this block to a third of the galaxy is now under their thumb. And they're growing in our direction. And so we're a little bit concerned about what's going on there. And so as a result, our peaceful ways, we are starting to research defensive technologies. We're starting to actually build up a fleet. In fact, we have a heroic leader, our newest addition, Kaides, a individual who we had found in a floating cryo tube out in space. We revived him, we raised him as one of our own, and he had to discover the history of his people. It turns out he's the last survivor of his kind. He is now, instead of being a scientist discovering the galaxy, we decided that he would be best put towards as a man of war. He is going to be our legendary Admiral, fighting alongside other viewers like Outtro, who is our Minister of Defense. They're manning our fleets, hopefully defending us from the encroaching Annihilators. We also have several others of our viewers. Dutchy is our head of research and one of our governors. Of course, Baby Drewski, he's the heir of the kingdom. He's actually helping out with some research there. There's Elias out doing some research. Cardella, the grand storyteller of the Empire. He is assisting research on Twitch. Well done. We have Not Gurner governing Ilix Prime, our ancient relic world. He was once a city planet that now is a ruin, and he's checking that out. We have some other legendary people also with us. And if we ever do have an opening, just so you know, you are able to redeem Drewski points, channel points, to maybe have a leader named after yourself. But, it's just for fun. There's just free points from just watching. First come, first serve is about all I can promise on that. So meanwhile, we're just gonna start back at where we were. If you're familiar at all with Stellaris, I'll try to give advice on what I've been learning across the thousands of hours I've played. We've also been trying to take our time. We're not trying to rush through. If I were playing solo, offline, not on the stream, I would be playing on the fastest game speed and skipping all the events because I've seen them. But it's been actually a joy just being able to take our time and kind of relish the story as it's dynamically unfolding around us. So we got a planet here. This planet already has housing. It has jobs. It just has an empty building slot, so it's telling us over in the outliner, hey, there's a building slot. Maybe you want to do something about that. There's no rush. But we would like to know, what to build here. And one thing that's been going on recently has been our spiritualist sloths have been beginning to access the mysterious realm of the Shroud. So we have telepathic sloths now, and we're teaching other species who have been joining us. Remember the refugees and all that. We've been teaching them how to access the Shroud as well. Unlock their psionic potential. And so one of the things that we can benefit from is this psi core, which is for the benefit of all. If you watch Babylon 5, I'm sure you'd be well aware on the benevolence of the psi core. And so we get a lot of helping out with crime and things like that, because after all, if the thought police can already literally know your thoughts, we prevent crime. It's good for everybody, I'm sure. Then we have Prime. This was an interesting planet. The system is already named Prime, just because of Amazon. But we met a people. They were really good with wormholes, and they wanted us to leave them in peace. So they actually sent us a paradise planet, a Gaia world, to our homeworld. And because your homeworld already has like names that come with it, the game always like defaults a planet's name by the first as Prime, and then Secondus, and then Tertius, and all that. And so it doesn't use the naming conventions that we already have. It's starting over, and so it's Prime, but it was in the system of Prime. So it's Prime. We kept it. It's got a place to build here too. This is our Shroud walking spiritualist center of the Empire. And so we're probably going to build another temple, generating unity. Unity unlocks traditions for us. And traditions, we had saved the game without finding out the next thing. We had saved the game when we were ready to breach into the Shroud. And so we will unlock a special project to breach the Shroud. Also, telepaths now produce additional resources from psionic pops, which is wonderful. Provide additional resources. But most importantly, the mystery of the Shroud is about to be unveiled for us here in this session. So we're going to do this. We're going to breach the Shroud. Here we go. I hope you're ready for this. This is actually quite cool. The Shroud. Like a muffled whisper in a dark room, the Shroud calls to us from within our minds. It is a primordial realm of pure psychic energy that comes into being at the dawn of time. All creatures that have been gifted with psionic abilities tap into the Shroud in some way to draw power, even if only subconsciously. Since our transcendence, we have begun to see the Shroud with greater clarity. There are patterns where once even our strongest telepaths could only see a formless mass of swirling energy. There are other things as well. Spirits of a sort that gaze back on us from the other side. Sometimes with curiosity, sometimes with kindness, and sometimes with malice. We are still in the process of learning the extent of our new powers, but it may be possible for us to commune with these spirits. It will require the combined efforts of our most powerful telepaths. We must explore the Shroud. A special project
Situation log update
has been unlocked. So we're going to go to the situation log. Breaching the Shroud. It's going to take us a little over 2 years, but if we were to communicate with the denizens of the psychic realm known as the Shroud, we'll have to unleash an incredible amount of psionic energy. Preparations have been made for a huge seance involving our most powerful psychics and the newly established conclave of telepaths on Twitch. I think it's talking about chat. Yes, we're going to research that. We're going to go back over to our tradition page where we just finished our psionics tradition tree. Because when you finish a tree, you also unlock an ascension perk. So far, we've been focusing on unity, science, and then again the telepaths. This unlocked the psionic tree, but now we can do another tradition, and we might have our decision be weighted against the fact that the galaxy is a perilous place being conquered here. So we might be focused on, for example, defense. Eternal vigilance. We are playing as peaceful people. If we're forced into war, it's not going to be a war of aggression, right? It's going to be a defensive war. And so this could be a thematic choice, making our defensive stations more powerful and allowing more defensive places. Also, Grasp the Void would allow us just more defensive stations in general, and larger fleets as a result if we build on that. There's some other options. We can make our empire size not so bad, because empire size is reducing our technology and tradition income. We have 14 colonies, so 140 points. We'd knock that down to 70. It'd be something. I wouldn't really worry about it. Shared destiny. Now, the other thing we're doing is, as a peaceful species, we are trying to work into the space UN to be a major player. We're actually the second largest player here in the galactic community. If we were to get some more envoys, we could get each envoy gives you a 20% or a 10% boost in the galactic community of your weight, your diplomatic weight. There's one of these traditions gives us 2 more envoys, so we could get a 20% boost. So that's possible. Voidborn, we could build habitats, build our own artificial stations, artificial planets type things. We could be working on that. We could also be a defender of the galaxy. Damage to crisis factions increased opinion modifiers from everyone else. That's not bad. Or the galactic force projection. Much more naval capacity. Also, interestingly, the fleet command limit. That's actually the more important thing, is the fleet command limit. So our fleets, instead of being 40, could be 60. And so the number of ships under the influence of a legendary admiral, for example, could be increased, which is useful. There's several other things we're just not really gonna focus on. We're not really gonna worry about. So I think the galactic force projection. I mean, we are peaceful, but I think if this game's gonna continue, we actually do need to focus on military. So galactic force projection makes some sense. Defender of the galaxy makes some sense. Grasping the void makes a little bit of sense. I lean away from it, but we are already at our starbase capacity. Do we have a defensive station on our choke points? So we got one here. We don't have one here. Or here. So this whole area could just be gobbled up. We only can build one more without going over our soft cap. Yeah, all of that could be gobbled up. We have one down here for the purple guys. And then the only other choke point is here. We would probably build a defensive station, 1 or 2, but then we'd also be able to build with those extra 5. We'd be able to build, what are they? They are anchorages where you could have more naval capacity, just have larger fleets because you have stations dedicated towards that. That's a possibility. The Eternal Vigilance, though, is actually quite tempting, because I think our next tree is going to be a defensive tree. The main problem with all that, though, is if the Annihilators are on our doorstep, then they have to get to that point. Then they are literally like 3/4 of the galaxy. So us being able to thwart them is going to be quite the feat. But I like the theme of it. I like the theme of us playing defensive, as a pacifist species. Could focus on our leaders, capacity, pool size, experience gain. None of those are bad. None of those are bad. I think I like the idea of the Eternal Vigilance. We might wait on it. I think we're actually going to need to be proactive and actually have a fleet. Now, the naval capacity of 80 is a lot compared to what we have now. Late game, it's not a lot at all. You'll have thousands of naval capacity. So 80 is not a lot. The fleet command limit is decent. The Defender of the Galaxy is a nice thing just because it also helps the opinion. All of the people, though, I think they already like us. Contacts. Everyone loves us, except for the Annihilators. They're fanatical purifiers. So we get 200 more opinion, but I don't know what we would do with it because everyone already loves us. Plus, it's actually not focused on the Annihilators. That's something else. Let's do the projection. Let's do the projection. Now, these are permanent. So normally, I don't actually do the projection normally, but I think I'm going to do it this time. Because I want to suddenly being able to go to a 300 size fleet is going to be important. Now, we also need alloys. Oh my goodness, I didn't even look. Consumer goods and alloys is a mess, an absolute mess. And I just clicked that. Maybe I shouldn't have. Trade policy, no, economic policy. So we're focused on consumer goods and we're still minus 90. How did we even get there? I would like to get that back over to mixed, get a little bit more alloys. and start dedicating whole planets to it, but can't afford it yet. All right, planets. What's going on? Why are we so far behind? Here, that's not going to be a temple. It's going to be some civilian industries. Oh, I know what's happening. The reason why we have all this extra housing is we've got species being assimilated. We've got some people maybe who are not actually, because they're all becoming psychics. There's some... We're gonna get some from there. These guys are getting assimilated a little bit. It's not the Borg assimilating. We're not talking Borg. We are converting people. We're opening up their minds. We're giving them the psychic abilities. How are these guys different? Why are they two separate species? They look identical. Yeah, so I think the assimilation thing will end shortly. Like there's 10, there's 12 of our pops. There's a bunch of them getting assimilated right now. So this will improve. That will improve. Yeah, 21 pops here are assimilating, 18 are assimilating. Okay, we'll see how that goes. We'll just let it ride out. Oh, got some problems. All right, at last, we've secured access to one of the grand entities of the Shroud. Once again, the hysterical lamentations of Den intrude on us. They're disconnecting themselves from our networks, mothballing every joint research operation. Only we understand how inconsequential such actions truly are. The birth of a more enlightened partnership is at hand. Our ascension is inevitable. So our neighbors, I didn't mention this, but there were some sloths who were not excited about going out into space, and they kind of were proven right. There was a species 100 years before the game started that tried to annihilate us. And so they were afraid of the dark. They were afraid of what was out here. We've solved those problems with love and friendship, you know, our friendly sloths. And so they're still out there. They're still on their planet. They're hermits. But apparently, because we're not getting along right now, for 10 years, we just lost 10% research, unity, and code breaking. Ugh. Oh, and we're breaching of galactic law. What's happened? Military readiness. Like, that makes sense. So, in the past, there was a resolution passed by the Space UN to have this Military Readiness Act, and that was galactic community members that are not vassals of another empire, that's us, we're not a vassal, that are using less than half of their naval capacity are in breach of galactic law. They're trying to be ready for whatever might be out there. I apologize. Just spun our camera. They're trying to be ready for, we're going to say, the Annihilators. And we just doubled our naval capacity without doubling our fleet. So we are in breach of galactic law. We need to build more ships. I've got 51,000 energy. We can afford a little bit here. Will we place the order for more ships? Warrior clans, they're way up north there. They just closed their borders. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't like us. I don't think it's consequential. Oh, we already have another tradition available because we had waited on the psionics till this game. It had been some time. So we can unlock another tradition. I do believe that for the sake of the game continuing, we're going to have to do a military style tradition. There are two and a half. Subterfuge does help a little bit with tracking and code and chance to evade. But really what you have is supremacy. This helps out your fleets. You get naval capacity, you get build cost, you get damage against star bases, firing rates, all sorts of good things for your navy. And you can have unyielding. This gives you starbase capacity, starbase upgrade, defensive platforms. You get defense health and damage. I think I'm gonna go unyielding because I do feel like this is thematically more appropriate. It might not be strategically wise, but it's going to be thematically more appropriate. We're trying to be prepared for what's coming our way.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Okay, the people over here on this we have a pre-FTL species on this desert planet called Fervor. These are the guys who actually launched a giant mass driver trying to kill us off 100 years ago. And then they lost all their technology and they're just primitives on a planet. And we felt bad for them. You know, they tried to kill us, but we forgave them. And they're in the early space age, so we're actually going to contact them pretty soon, it looks like. I think I have do I have a spy network? I don't have one right now. I could send an envoy. Spy network. Oh yeah, he's on the Annihilators. Everyone else in the galactic community. I think I'm not too worried about these guys. They just, I guess they are fanatic xenophobe. If we're gonna incorporate them, we probably need to change that. We're a xenophile. Upon entering this. Upon entering their space, this is new, I've not seen this happen. The ambassador was arrested on numerous charges of wrongdoing, just showing up. The survivor's missive was brief. We thank you for returning the criminal to us, that justice may be served. Wow, just lost that. Oh, okay, we'll try again here. All right. And we're going to try to indoctrinate the society. It's going to take some work. Oh, yeah, so we finished some tech. We're going to keep focusing on some shields and defensive... Oh, yes! And we have an L gate. We could just open that. Mysterious portals floating around in space, and who knows where they go. Yeah, I just randomly lost it. It was actually the envoy I was trying to send to their planet. They arrested him when he arrived. I don't know. It happened. We're going to get shields. I'm not going to open up the L gates yet. I need the fleet up to snuff. Yeah, I don't know. More refugees. Awareness increased. Yeah, these guys are highly aware of us. But they are fanatic xenophobe, and we're hoping to change that. If we're gonna have them as a species that we put under our wing, they need to at least get along with us. Okay, so we are getting plenty of consumer goods once these guys are starting to get done being assimilated, but the credits aren't doing great now. So we need to reevaluate momentarily. Just gotta get all those assimilations done.
Research complete.
Oh my. I don't know how, but there's a Druskite species up for sale on slave market. It must have been when we had... Yeah, this is before we ascended. Wow. I could spend 4,000 to buy him out of slavery. This must have been when we had a migration pact, and he must have just been migrating and growing, and now they're like just being absorbed there. Wow, gray and gray. This is not good over there. Yeah, we're gonna buy him. We are... I mean, it's not gonna be worth 4,000. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is not worth it. Oh, and it costs extra 100 because it's prohibited. We are... Is it because our people don't like... the idea of slavery. Like they're not going to look at it at us setting him free. They're looking at it as us buying a slave. That's how they're looking at it. I'm going to buy him anyway. Need to assimilate you. Guess I irradiated. Don't ask. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone else, because whenever we get the refugees arriving, I think I have to manually tell them to be assimilated into psychics. Shield's already done. I think we're gonna get this energy credit thing, because that's concerning that we went from plus like 200 to minus 50. Raccoon Divines and the next Nexus are rivals. There's Nex. Where the Divines are.
Research complete.
Ah, there we go. That's a good weapon. Is the red ship on the right of the Druscite Empire the Space Whale? Yes, that is the Space Whale. We might even be able to take it on if we can get our fleets filled up. Let's... I don't want to miss out on this, because we are building star bases and things, so I'm going to grab that. I wanted that armor. I need to get these fleets leveled up and ready for war.
Research complete.
I guess we are set to fast. I know you guys are used to the normal speed. That's okay. So we're getting that research pretty quick. Planetary shield generators, in certain situations, are quite good. I don't think they're going to be good here. I don't think we really need it. Let's go ahead and do the encryption. They don't need to know where our fleets are. The game is a little buggy when it comes to assimilating, so generally speaking, when pops get assimilated, I'm looking at this worker unemployment. They don't automatically go back to work. Looks like I just got them all put in the right place, though.
Blocker cleared.
The Annihilators and Star Collective are peace. Oh. Oh ho. Here we go. The Seance. After days of being locked in hypnotic trance, our psychics in the Conclave of Telepaths have finally managed to open a brief gateway into the Shroud. Now that we have established an initial psychic link, we're able to access the Shroud through the contacts menu in the future. To make any kind of meaningful foray into this realm and meet the beings who dwell there, we will likely have to make use of special psionic emitters to extend our psychic reach. This will consume a tremendous amount of energy. Time to reach in and see what we find. The Shroud. It is unbelievably strange and unsettling, but also immediately familiar. Anyone with psychic powers, psionic powers, will have seen this place in their dreams, though they likely did not know it at the time. We linger now on the precipice of this realm, not far from the empty void of the in-between that serves as the boundary between here and the normal space, or what we would call the real world. To venture deeper into the Shroud will require great amounts on the part of our telepaths, as well as a large amount of energy. We must not dally. Even now, we are being watched. For 1,000 energy, we will reach into the Shroud. through the looking glass. While we have yet to actually pierce the veil, we can feel it getting thinner and thinner under the pressure of our combined minds. Yet on the other side, our efforts to enter the Shroud have not gone unnoticed. Something watches us. Its presence radiates eldritch power, an unfathomable purpose. It seeps through the cracks of our psyche. It barely notices us. It watches us like we would a drop of condensation on a porthole. It might let us in, only if we could reach its inscrutable mind. We can try to commune with it. We will venture in alone. Or this was a terrible idea, we must be more careful. I think, let's just make that go away. I think that if we are to take on such a galactic menace, we might need the help of a higher power. Let us commune with the ineffable. It will let us form a covenant. But who? With whom are we forming a covenant?
Situation log updated.
Situation log. Commune with the ineffable. Alright, another 10 months research. Finish that research. Get some more shields probably. Yes. Mercenary Enclave has been destroyed. Word has reached us that the Mercenary Enclave has destroyed the Mishran Annihilators in Kemdakor. The aggressors proved too strong for the Manticore's vigils to face on their own, and their station housing the board barracks and their shipyards were destroyed. The mercenary fleet disbanded shortly after, as every captain was left to fend for themselves. But some representatives have stated that they will honor the company's contracts in logistics and starbase garrisoning as best they can despite the dissolution of the company. One more has fallen. Oh, we're full on minor artifacts.
Incoming transmission.
So because we're full on minor artifacts, there's things you can do with these. And if we get technology that we could put on our ships, it would cost minor artifacts. I don't have any just yet, so we're going to do some of these spending, because we're gaining 13 a month. We're actually got quite a good income on those. We're going to proclaim both a religious revelation and celebrate diversity. This is going to increase our xenophile ethics, it's going to increase our spiritual ethics, but it's also going to get us 24,000 unity, which we're getting 2,000 a turn, so it's about a year's worth of unity. And we'll get this back. Unity is what's giving us our tradition trees, so that defensive statement we did. Ooh. The Star Collective. Now, these guys have already been at war with the Annihilators once. They're offering a defensive pact. Normally, we would look at this as an opportunity to not be drawn into a war, but I think this would actually be drawing us into a war, because they are very likely going to be battling the Annihilators very soon. I don't think we are getting war declared on us. They are getting war declared on them. And so, yeah, essentially, hello, can you assist us as the Annihilators are on our doorstep? That's exactly what they're asking for. We're not ready. We're not ready. We're still peaceful Slavs. But there will come a day when the sloth kind will have to stand, perhaps alone, against the Annihilators.
Research complete.
Some nice techs. Let's get those afterburners. Okay, the awareness is still decreasing. That is good. Here's our defensive stations. We can further increase our starbase capacity. I'm going to do this one. Defensive armies give us a little bit of unity. I don't think we have that many defense. armies. Actually, yeah, every planet has several. So each of these armies is a half unity point, and every planet's got a half dozen of them. So we'll get a little bit. It's not going to even make a difference, but it's more than other things. One of the main things we want this tree for is not only the star bases having 33% more hull and damage, but also the Bulwark of Harmony. When in a defensive war, ship build speed is increased by 33%, but even more importantly, ship fire rate is increased by 15. And so we want defensive wars, and we want that fire rate. So we're going to work towards that. We're also going to want that starbase capacity and all that too. But this gives us, a tiny bit more unity. When the month rolls over, I think we'll have a stat here with the unity where we'll have how much income is coming from armies. I think it'll tell us. Yeah, armies. We just got 100 more. That's actually not bad. We got 100 more unity per month because of that for the armies. 100.65. Council agenda is ready. Specialist pop resource output. Resources from jobs. So we're going to have a lot of resources for 10 years, and then I'm going to forget why we have so much resources, and it'll go away, and we'll have negative resources, and I'll wonder what happened. That's the plan. New agenda. Diplomatic weight. Star-based defenses. I think we can get away with another window here before the war. Could get just leader XP, but most of these leaders are so old, like we want the leader XP when we have the new generation, because these agendas take forever to come back. I was hoping that our expand the council would be available. It will be in just over a year and a half. A year and a half. I'm going to wait so that I can get that next. That's what I'm waiting on. We need more forges. We need way more alloys. In fact, this world is going to be a forge world, not a factory world.
Construction complete.
Oh yes, that's right, the L gates. We need to be ready for that. I mean, not that there's any reason to be worried. No reason at all. But we do have a defensive station there with that L gate, just because it's a good spot for it. And then we got another defensive station here. Just it's a good spot. Okay, we got a good amount of consumer goods. I'm actually going to go back to our government. We're going to switch from civilian economy, which is plus 25% consumer, minus 25 ally. We're going to go to mixed. Not the whole way, just mixed. And we should be just on the plus side of consumer goods, but we should get another, 30, 40 alloy. Can't change it for 10 years, so I should have done closer math, but I think that should be okay. Almost finished getting out of the breach of the galactic law. Keep reinforcing our fleets.
Special project.
Oh, it is time. The Shroud. The presence welcomes us with a genial familiarity. It speaks not so much in words, but in visions, concepts, ideas. It seeps into the minds of our telepaths, so gently and smoothly that one might think it had always been there. A flurry of images flash before our eyes. The presence is known as the composer of strands, and it regards our biological forms with curious interest. It shows us a variety of ways in which they can be grown, changed, improved, evolved. If we only take it into our flesh. It waits for our answer patiently, affectionately, like a doting father waiting for his favorite child. Behind it lies its twin, the architect of clay. It is not interested in our organic minds. It longs to create souls, to meld circuits into spirit. The composer awaits our reply. We can form a covenant with the composer of strands. I'm sure there would be nothing wrong with this at all. I mean, I'm sure it'd be totally fine. At the outset, we would get 10% more growth speed, leader lifespan would be increased, but our species trait picks would be reduced. Wouldn't be able to modify any further. Doesn't seem scary at all. It does, however, say there will be a price to pay. Now, I don't want to do too many spoilers, but there is more than one presence in the Shroud. There is more than one presence in the Shroud. And it's possible that there might be a presence that's more attuned to what our people are doing. So it's you know, we may decide the question is this the one that we... I mean, it seems so nice, like a doting father. What this will do is this will make our species... I mean, growth rate is quite nice. We don't have... I was going to go through and add trait points to everybody. Okay? We were going to go through and add trait points to everybody. So... some of our species that we have more of them, we could make them stronger, faster, better. We have 125 of the Drewskite people. We've already modified their trait points. The next most 40 points. I guess the next most would be these guys. We got 30 some points, and I need to, before I click that, I can create a template for them where we can use some of these trait points. So. Just get rid of the two negatives, perhaps, add a positive. It doesn't reassure you. I mean, what's not to like? You know, if we will only take it into our flesh. Probably just do the consumer good upkeep reduction, so we don't have to worry about them. So I can create this template before I click that, and then apply the template. And we'll just shift these guys so they won't have the. Right now they're doing 2.5% less worker pop output. It's not a lot, but it's noticeable. The army damage, we don't care. The immigration and resettlement costs, we haven't paid attention, but immigration is happening all the time, and so that's something that might come into things. So we could customize that, and we can reduce their consumer good upkeep. So you know that's okay for 30 pops. It's not terrible. I can apply that.
Situation log updated.
And then these guys. These would be next, and they have this arid preference. We have a planet or two, looks like just the one that's an arid planet. Am I able to terraform that yet? I can, and so this would actually be a good idea. I can terraform it into tropical, which is what everyone else likes, so everyone can get along. I can terraform it into tropical, but then also change the species to where they like tropical, and everyone's happy. This costs a chunk of change, though. I think that's a decent idea. I can do that here. Same thing with our Arctic planet. 2 relic worlds now. That's awesome. Everything else should be tropical. I guess we have 1 continental. So if we go back to species, I think I can't apply the new trait, but I can at least create the template and then apply it. So we create the template. We get rid of all this unhappiness stuff. We want the perfect people, you know. And I think just because they're not necessarily our main people, we're not going to give them like leader bonuses, because maybe we'll have leaders of them, maybe not. But just to not have a little bit of consumer good problems seems okay. And then I don't have the glandular acclimation technology. I can't actually change. Are we researching it? In leader enhancement. Well, we'll get it eventually. We'll be able to change them eventually. Actually, that's really... I might cancel those terraforms, because if it does change... If we accept this, and we'd have a negative trait point. I just wish I had the ability to change that. I might just cancel the terraforming and still do this template. How about these guys? They've got 3. We'll just create all our templates. That's just removing the bad, which is fine. These guys we've already converted. These guys we have not. Just for simplicity. There's so many species. And the reason why I'm doing it now is because as soon as I click this, I lose out on a species trait pick. And so I won't have 3 anymore. I won't have 3 anymore. And so we're going to go through and we're just going to, you know, create the templates with the 3. Going to take us forever. You can only modify 1 species at a time. You can assimilate a bunch, but you can only modify 1 at a time. These guys already have the conservationists. What else do you want to do? Sure, use less housing. There's not enough of any of these guys to really matter. Your plantoids, you can use your leaves to get your food from this sun. Some of these are just 3 guys. I mean, it's not worth our time, really. Would it anger? Technically no. Technically no, it would not anger it. It would be kind of neat, and thematically, like it should worry us, right? Thematically, that should be a concern, but gameplay wise, no. Why they have 9? Because they have all the negative. I'm not trying to say that this conservationist is good. It's not. It's mostly because I'm planning on eventually going to do minus consumer goods and plus more alloys. So I want to try to conserve some of that. And the other reason why is it's too many species to manage. So I'm just going to put something that's generally good across the board. I don't want to specialize them. If you wanted to really min-max, you can specialize each and every species, put them in the right jobs, and I don't want to mess with that. Normally, I don't accept migration because it's too much. And so I'm just ignoring it. This is so that I can ignore it. It's not because it's like some amazing ability that's if you're customizing in your game that you should always have. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just not wanting to bother. These guys have 5 trait points. Natural intellectuals? Okay, well, let's... Maybe you'll be a scientist someday. Huh. Sure, an engineer. I only have one of them, but he's great. Alright, so we've got all of those spent. I can accept the thing. It would make sense if there's a hidden drawback. It would absolutely make sense. Alright, we've gone through... I don't want to game the system and say, let's not pick this one because there's some other one that might fit us better out there. I want to be like, this is our story. Our people reached into the Shroud. We found the composer of strands. It was a nice guy. And we said, okay, we like aliens, remember? Like, we don't have a reason to say no. As far as our theme goes, you know, it seems okay. Doting father, favorite child, you know, they want to help us be grown, changed, improved. Seems okay. And leader lifespan. By the way, we do want to keep our leaders alive for forever. We haven't had any of them die of old age so far. So let's just go ahead. A covenant has been formed. It is done. We have formed a covenant with the composer of strands. It did not take long. Time. It did not take long for the effects to be felt. A sudden and significant increase in both pregnancy and birth rates that is undoubtedly the work of the composer. However, along with these positive effects, we're also experiencing a rash of strange new mutations. Offspring born with extra limbs and organs, some which bear no resemblance to any previously cataloged part of their anatomy. Fortunately, the few deaths resulting from them are more than outweighed by the higher birth rates and the apparent increase of vitality of our people. We've done the right thing. Yes, yes. Nothing will go wrong.
Construction complete.
We've embraced the warp. I'm sure it'll be fine. I forgot I was building hyper relays. I knew these guys were up to something. Oh, alloys. Good grief. Always short on alloys. Oh, we're not having the... I think maybe those guys were mad. Oh, good. I think those guys were maybe mad at us because we were in breach of galactic law, but we've built just enough ships where we're no longer in breach. Finish the one species. Now I'm gonna have to go down the list and like modify everyone one at a time. So I can apply that template. We've got more of these guys that need to be applied to, but you know, we'll get there. These guys just finished. These guys are next. So this is going to be the new main species. We're going to apply this template. Why is there one? Won't be applied to. Oh, he's not psychic yet. He's still assimilating. Oh, we'll have to do this again when he's done. So let's see if there's somebody we can assimilate. We can do. Yeah, like this guy.
Situation log updated.
So by the time that one's done, we should be fine. Why? Oh, we have a... Why are we over leader capacity? What happened there? Have we been over leader capacity this whole time? We probably have been. Two Tomb Worlds. Do we have a third or anything? No, I think those are the last of our Tomb Worlds. Yep, we're full on these again. Just sell some for a little bit of money. I can't get rid of them fast enough.
Species modified.
Good. Let's see what energy weapons. Oh yeah, we got plasma. I don't need those lasers. Just having a look here. I think I'm just going to go for the research speed. That's 5% for the rest of the game of research speed. There we go. This last guy has now been made into psionics. Now we can apply this template.
Situation log updated. Species modified.
Can't keep up with the minor artifacts. And then the species, if we keep doing this, it does keep you from researching. So I need to take a break probably of the species modification. This guy... Yeah, they're pretty good. We could get 19 more guys. That's a decent chunk.
Situation log updated.
We need to get back to research. How's these guys doing? Looks like they're currently not at war with anyone, which is a shock. Maybe eventually they have to actually stop and consolidate what they've been gaining. I guess with all of our intel, we can actually see their fleets. We can actually see their fleets. Looks like they've got cruisers. They have quite a few. Most of them are around 2,500 to 2,500 fleet strength. So they've got 4 here, 2 there. So 10 of them at 25. So that's 250,000 strength. We got to round up. Do we see any others? It looks like he's consolidated all central. A couple more. But at 300,000 if we wanted to take it all at once. That we know of. And our strength is 45,000. So therefore we're not quite ready. Darth Nyquil! Thanks for the follow. Of course, we still can't even make destroyers yet. I've been utterly neglecting it all. I'm still focused on economy. We have a little bit of time, but these guys are conquering way faster than I thought they would.
Species modified.
A confirmation. Time has passed since we established the foundation of a covenant with the composer of strands. Our bond is still weak. We still have a chance to break it, or alternatively strengthen our connection. We can confirm the covenant or renounce the composer of strands. We're committed. We're committed. We're gonna confirm the covenant. They're only have our best interests at heart. That is what we know.
Situation log updated.
We've created a bond with the Shroud entity named the Composer of Strands. Sheltering, it granted us crumbs of its power for a price. There will likely be more to follow. Our telepaths theorize that the bond can be further deepened if we align ourselves more with our patron. The Composer yearns for flesh set free from the constraints of evolution and genetic manipulations. It tells us about the respect of life, of nature, and the sanctity of the flesh.
Locker cleared.
Yes, yes. we're gonna get along swimmingly.
Council agenda available.
There we go. Expand the council. Put one more on the council. One more of our viewers. Oh yes, we're trying to convert the Fivorian survivors. Time alone will now show how lasting our effect may be on the Fivorian survivors. The initial projections look promising. Fivorian's advocates have already taken up our ideas as keenly as if they were their own. Our operatives took a holistic approach, encouraging curiosity and a greater appreciation for other cultures in the form of stories, arts, and community events. The Operation Indoctrinate Society now concluded, our operatives have left it to local xenophiles to keep these discussions alive and better prepare the Fivorian survivors for life in a diverse galaxy. Well, that's good. So, let's see if this updates. We might have just made some population. Yeah, there's still overall xenophobe. Let's see if we can't look at the individuals. Spiritual. I'm looking right here. Spiritualist. All spiritualists. Every last one of them are spiritualist. I don't know why they are militarist and xenophobe. Let's give them some time. I don't even know why it said xenophile, because they're all spiritualist. We do have a third tomb world down there. I need to finish this tech and see what's next before we do any more species modification, because it's always using our society. There it is, the societal shift. Their values have, in a direction favored by us, have produced favorable results. We have opened the eyes of the Fivorians in a spiritual realm they never knew was there. They finally have something to believe in, and their society is all the richer for us. They will thank us one day. No migration treaty.
Complete.
Everyone chill out. There they are. They are more spiritualists, but they've held on to their slightly xenophobe ways, which means we're going to go back to indoctrinating the society. I'm going to do it once more. Drewski, Pastor Drewski, has leveled up. A little bit more research. More research. Terraforming speed. Oh yeah, I'm still terraforming. Ugh. Yeah, I'll let it keep going. Wait until the Annihilators show up and make them go back to being xenophobes. Yes, they might regret liking aliens after that. Engineering focus is not bad. We're going to need that pretty soon. And it is 10%. Whereas the hyper focus, we're going. That's a 3% across the board for each of the three types. 3%, 3%, 3%. This is a 2% increase. Engineering will give us 10% in strictly in engineering. Now, where is our tech lie? Physics is at least 100 more than the rest of them. So if we get 10% more in engineering, that's like 90 in engineering. That gets that one caught up. I'm leaning that way. I happen to know there's a lot of good engineering techs that we do not have. There's our selected lineages. So we can further increase our leaders' capacity. Fleet command limit. Edict fund. We can do some thought enforcements. I'm still curious about the Rassian naval yards. I don't think I've ever had that. I'm not done building my fleets as it is. I think I've got a window here. I'm gonna do the naval yard. I'm just curious. But do I do another species just while we're hanging out here? Get 16 guys here. improved.
Situation log updated. Construction complete.
That's right, we did get... Let's check our fleet design, even though I just gave the order.
Species modified.
Yep. So we're going to want to do that. Everything already is out of date. I am going to have to... Oh. Hello, friends. This is our potterers. These are salvagers. Our years of collaborative study have been whisked by. Yes, they wanted... This is giving us a 15% research boost for engineering. This is very, very good. Tell us about the salvage works building. Why, yes, it's a deal. Do we have a starbase with them in it? We don't, but we could. Sure. We have a unique building we can build now that's in the same system as these guys. It's a salvage works, so I think we get something out. I honestly don't remember what we get out of that. Corvette build speed, Corvette cost, yes. These are some techs we've just neglected all game. Alright, Den is talking to us again. They want to share insights if we don't go to the Shroud for some time. They would give us the cloaking fields, which we don't actually care about cloaking. We want to go to the Shroud. Alright, ship designer. So we've added a better afterburner onto the...
Research complete.
The habitability. If I am going to convert the... I'm terraforming planets that are those guys' homeworlds, and they're not good at living on it. So they need better
Ships
habitability. Also, we had a bunch of tech that we didn't apply yet. So remember when we were looking at comparing our fleet with those guys? We were at 15 for this fleet. It's actually a 20 once you've upgraded. So we're not as far off. I mean, it's far off, but we're getting an extra 10,000, 15,000 fleet power just by upgrading. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We lost the buzzword standardization. I've not been paying attention.
Construction complete.
Yeah, we can repeal the cooperative research channels. I don't actually want the security contractors. I'm going to oppose that after all.
Ships upgraded.
I'm gonna change my mind. We do need to have a fleet. I was a little sad about the buzzword going down though. All-Star, he is our unity generating leader. Get even more unity out of him. I think that's a 5% because we're at Reformer 2. Monthly unity 10%. This would be another 5, but also this is empire-wide. Governing ethics attractions is actually really good. Keeps everyone unified. This is just 5% more unity without the ethics attraction. This would be on the planet alone. It would get energy credits increased, mineral credits increased, or naturally occurring blockers. Let's do the ethics attraction. We got another tradition. We got another tech. A little bit more energy. I'm not impressed with our resources. For us, as focused on our economy as we've been, we're not dominant here. Not excited about where that's going. Is everyone working? I think we've done most of that assimilation. Just want to make sure we don't have anyone just sitting around. When we do species modified, they usually do go back to work, but the assimilation they do not.
Research complete.
Habitability. Same thing, more mineral production. We're gonna need all the economy we can to field this war. The biggest concern is actually the alloys. 194 seems like a lot. It's not. That's one Corvette a month. We're gonna be replacing Corvettes by the hundreds. They're gonna just die as cannon fodder. They're basically crawlers in Mechabellum, right?
Research complete.
Faster hyperdrive. I think we will. We might also be opening up those L gates shortly, just to see what's on the other side. It might be beneficial. Might be good. Also might check out the Tyanki matriarch. In fact, let's see. Can we ask if the curators know something about it? Ah, they do know something. The curators say that I was asking about the Tyanki matriarch. Magnificent, is she not? A wizened old matriarch. Her hide bleached and hardened by the eons. Her tentacles capable of snapping the hulls of battleships like oyster shells. Decades ago, our researchers heard of rumors of a captain sworn to hunt the matriarch to the ends of the galaxy. However, considering her continued existence, we cannot imagine he met with success. Well, we can ask some questions. Why is the matriarch so much larger than other Tyanki? Well, her incredible size is an anomaly, to be sure. We believe the matriarch is a wanderer from another galaxy in deep space. We're a species of Tyanki far greater in size and strength diverged evolutionary from the Tyanki found on our own. Of course, it is also possible the matriarch is simply suffering from an advanced form of giganticism, though this would fail to explain her extended lifespan. Well, what do you know about the captain? Very little. It's quite possible the captain chased the matriarch here from another galaxy, though why would one be foolish enough to challenge a creature capable of destroying entire fleets with just one vessel is beyond us. Can you tell us how to defeat it? The matriarch is formidable, but not indestructible. While her armored hide protects her from a wide range of projectiles, she carries with her a remarkable weakness. There is a massive proton torpedo lodged in her back, a wound from a recent battle that has healed poorly. While seemingly defective, our scans of the torpedo suggest it could still be detonated if agitated with a specific energy pulse. We will transmit the details to you now. Oh, they're gone. We weren't done talking about that. So it gives us a 25% damage boost against the matriarch. The next question, the important question, is how would our current fleet fare against it in battle? Yours is a mighty fleet, comparable to some of the greatest armadas recorded in the annals of the Curator Order. Victory is certainly within your reach. That's what we wanted to hear. So we might be removing this threat, this ancient threat, the threat that ended Gurner. We might need to bring vengeance upon it. Gurner is no more because of the Tyanki matriarch. We're stuck with not Gurner now. Alright, salvage works here. Not that useful. Dock ships, upkeep. So if we park our fleets here, they're cheaper. Which actually is not bad. We'll do that. This can be our home base. This would be a decent spot for a shipyard or whatever, but we've got a shipyard right next door. It'll make it cheaper for our energy credits. That's partly why the energy credits have gone down. Yeah, ships are costing us 257 now that we're in transit. The ship upkeep is starting to weigh on us. Ooh. And I just hold my space beer. The Shroud is accessible. First want to go to our generator world here. I know what I'm doing with this planet. I think this is another example of where we're going to change it to a alloy.
Research complete.
A very suspicious cat sound was just going through. The sound of a cat pawing on something like they would on a litter box, and the litter box is not nearby. I need to investigate. All right, crisis averted. I think I've discovered the source. We actually have a Amazon box that's just in my room, empty, and the cat had decided he was just gonna sit in it and making a big fuss over. It's actually not large enough for him, but he's happy. If I fits, I sits. So I was going through. We were trying to update the alloys and all that, weren't we? All right, technology. The naval yards, that's right. They fit in everything, it's true. So this is one I've never built. So the Irasian astronaval tradition was unmatched in their time. Their shipyards produced a constant stream of ships for their navy and merchant fleets, which would ultimately be their downfall. So many ships, such a high reliance on them, the Irasians were powerless to quarantine the disease that would claim their empire. So that is good. That is good. Actually, I'm going to get that. That's going to be important for our fleets. Some more minerals. Mining station output is good. I want the armor, too, if we're going to be doing all this upgrades. Let's do the minerals. And the Shroud. What was the... Oh, we just got the new shipyard technology. Is that something I can put here? It is. So it's basically an extra shipyard that I can have as a building. And the whole starbase will build everything 20% faster. That's pretty nice. I don't think I can have multiple of them. Yeah, just the one. That's okay. Actually, while I'm replacing that, I can replace this gun range here that I'm not using. And it's time for the Shroud. We're going to contact the Shroud. We were never meant to be here. But we're reaching in anyway. The void here shimmers with power. Let us rest a while. Now, this is a little different from what we've seen so far. The covenant that we made is something that kind of is a one-time thing, but there's plenty of exploration to do in the Shroud, and so we find ourselves in different places in the Shroud, which has different things, and so there's difficulties. Probability of success. We could have a temporary boon to increase our ship's firing rate, a temporary boon to increase army morale, or a temporary boon to increase ship repair. Like highly likely, medium, low probability. If they fail, bad things could happen. My problem is I don't need the ship firing rate right now, even though it's a high probability of success. I'd rather not even take the small risk because there's no gain. We're not at war. Although I guess I could do that and then take on the matriarch. Okay, that's a worthy endeavor. Let's see if we can't take on the matriarch. Boon bestowed. Our telepaths have managed to establish a temporary conduit between the Shroud and our starships. Using their psionic powers, our crew members are now able to increase the firing rate of our weapon systems. 20% fire rate for 5 years. That's not a long time. So we're gonna have to take advantage of that ASAP. So we're going to, I've spent all my energy, so we're going to just we're gonna have what alloys we can get. Yeah, I don't want to spend the last of it. We're just gonna go and build a half dozen more, and we're gonna head out. So our once a month rolls over, we should have a buff. Although I think it already is there. We were at 20k, now we're at 22. The Druskites, there certainly has been a shift, hasn't there? Yes, to use the trigger. Like in general, we've been kind of feeling more aggressive, and it's really out of fear. Our neighbors are forcing our hand. Every month or so we're getting more alloys, so I can just keep adding another Corvette on here. Fear leads to anger. Oh no! Something's happened due to an unexpected collision with a chunk of space debris. The Abaddon's Desmones station. This is the one that we got that wasn't normally ours, has deviated from its innermost stable circular orbit and is now slowly closing the distance towards the nearby black hole. While the accident puts the whole station at risk, it's also an incredible opportunity to study the black hole and siphon huge quantities of dark matter. Emergency thrusters have been deployed to correct the station's orbit. We could say, get away from there. The situation approach is set to retreat. So have the following effects. Basically, we're going to keep the station, and it costs us energy to maintain. We could stabilize the station's orbit around the black hole, or get as close as possible to the black hole. I've never seen this. It's also an incredible opportunity to die. Here's my problem. This location is massively strategically important, just unspeakably important to us, because not only is it a bottleneck that we're defending from that has our main defenses, it also has the ruined matter decompressor, which we don't have mega engineering yet to fix. But once we do, we will fix that. And this will provide us a nearly limitless source of minerals for the rest of the game if we can protect it. We don't want to lose the station. If we lose the station, we might lose the place. Now, I could rebuild a station. By the way, our stations are 36,000 at this point with defense. And this is without having defensive platforms, which we could build. We could double that. Calamari, welcome, welcome. Caleb. We are having a crisis. Our station here is having a free fall into the black hole. And we have to decide if we want it to try to get away, preserve the station, stabilize it, or get some dark matter research. Now, do we have... We have some dark matter, but we don't actually have an income of dark matter. I forget where we got the 300 from. Do we have any other source of dark matter income? Like, we might just not have the tech, but we might have discovered it as, like, somewhere. Oh, actually, we are getting an income, I think. Yes, we're getting 0.3 because we have a dimensional portal that we're researching. So what's going to happen here, this is a situation, and it's going to be not so much a chance for success or failure, which it's going to have other events. It's going to be a range that, you know, where on the spectrum do you land that you then can progress. So I think what kind of happens, now this is me not having seen it before, I think what kind of happens is that, you know, if you have a spectrum where one side is save the station, the other side's lose the station, while it's close to losing the station, we can get the black hole, but we might be able to then dump a whole lot of energy or something credits per month and have it progress towards the save the station side of things. And then it just takes longer because it was really in danger. Now, if we don't dump the energy, we actually lose the station. So it's on a spectrum. So where on the spectrum do we land? I just don't know at all what to expect from it. And because of the high risk, I'd love to just find out. I'd love to click this, get as close as possible. But what is risk is the matter decompressor, not so much the station, which we could replace. Or even our neighbors. See, like, potentially, if we disappear here, the friendly fleet here, they could just immediately go and claim this and be like, oh, you guys, like, we can't let them do that. I think we're going to do the getaway. I don't want to risk anything.
Spaceborne life form encountered.
All right, so there's the gravity well. And so what we're having here, it's while the incident offers us never before reached an opportunity to harvest dark matter and physics, we'd have to act fast. So yes, so right now we're retreating, which is giving us a -5 towards the goal of saving it, right? Normally, okay, so there's a monthly change. This is for us all to know, future reference. There's a base amount of 5 points per turn moving it to the right towards destruction. The position of retreat is moving it 10 points the other way, so we're net gaining 5. If we had done the other one to advance it, it would be all the way over here, and we would actually be gaining, wow, monthly 10 dark matter every month. Some physics, that's negligible physics. Or 5 dark matter, 2 dark matter, but we could have had 10 dark matter and then just steadily progressed it back this way. So there was a really good opportunity there. And in the future, I think I would take it. But there could be other events that happen that just nudge it towards the other way. So if we started here and we're like, yeah, let's just hang out with like only 5 points away from destruction, and the event happens and you lose 5 points, it's game. So again, I didn't want to risk it. I guess we are getting 1 dark matter a turn. It's nothing. But I'd rather just save the whole thing. But in the future, I would absolutely play around with that. The live trailer for Starfield, I did not. I did not. I know everyone's really pumped. Just a few more days. I will probably not be playing it because I still have... I've got a lot on my plate. I got Armored Core, Baldur's Gate, real life. A lot going on, and financially to buy yet another game. Like I was not planning on buying either of those games, and now I bought two. I gotta answer this. Well, good. That was a very important heads up from the wife that we're having company coming over soon. Glad to know. Closer than we thought. When approaching the black hole, space-time bends in unpredictable ways, and abandoned Desme's station instruments are struggling to keep up. After a careful recalibration of the onboard instruments, the station was shown to be much closer to the black hole than we previously thought. This is what I would have been afraid of. So let's look at this again. This event causes you to jump 10 points back to the right. If we had picked to advance, you know, to get the greedy thing and do the 10 dark matter a month and hang out here, that could have just, this event could have just been instantly, you just lost your station, it's game over. Let's see if that updates. It'll probably update at the end of the turn, or maybe it already has kicked in. Yes, Mr. Mevo, I agree. It is still the same Bethesda, right? So, we're looking at you need to wait a few years for the bugs to be worked out. An Admiral from Den, they're a loose torpedo tube, loose cannon. We just don't have room for extra leaders.
Research complete.
Better hyperdrives. Could activate the L gates. Oh, I'm almost forgotten. I need to move that fleet. We're almost out of the buff. Sure, we'll get the colony. We're gonna eventually get these terraforming happening. Food. We've got food at the moment. Could get rid of some sinkholes, some glaciers. Edict fund. How are we doing on edicts? Not a lot of opportunity for edicts. It would be nice to be able to have, to be able to afford like the capacity subsidies, 50% more technician output or mining, you know, just be able to just say all of a sudden I just get massive more resources, and to do that you need edicts, or even just the diplomatic weight from fleet power. Our diplomatic weight is still second, just barely, and our base amount is not the 14.3k. Our base diplomatic weight is 5,200, and of the 5,200, 2,500 of it is from fleet power. Now the base of that is 1,798 with modifiers. We could get an extra modifier towards that, and that would put us over the edge. That's not bad. But again, if we're going to start messing with all of that, also ship starting experience. If we're going to build fleet, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. That only costs us 5 unity, and we can research the edict fund. Sure. But the fleet needs to get moving. It is time. And then we actually need to think about, we're starting to get some influence. Let's actually, can we, nope, not these. Galactic reforms, could do a galactic council. What I want is I want the ability to basically declare a crisis. I think I need to be on the council first, but we need to be united against the Annihilators. That's ultimately like kind of how we're gonna move forward here. You will channel tested at building a model of starting ship. Incredible. Maybe we just propose the Galactic Council, because we would be on it. Let's do it. Alright, we have now proposed our first resolution here to form a Galactic Council. Some others are supporting it. I could even go in and call in some favors if I wanted to try to get support for that. Adam Savage.
Construction complete.
Well, who knows? Oh, this planet is getting extra energy from technicians. That is quite nice. I didn't realize. Yeah, we're getting the extra physics research here as well. But this might be worth putting that energy grid on there. Because, again, our energy's suffering right now. Forgot again. Yep, sorry guys. I know you're really used to it being a, you know, arid world. Actually, that was the Arctic world. You like it being really cold, but hey, it's tropical now. There's trees. They'll be fine. They'll totally be fine. Hey, these guys, habitability 45%. It'll be fine. Ooh, okay. We finished it. It escaped the gravitational pull, returning to stable orbit. The data we gathered during this dangerous situation will keep our researchers busy for years. Oh, good. 50K physics research. And we didn't have to risk losing this. I don't regret that. It might have been fun to see what would have happened. But in the end, dark matter is not going to determine anything for us, but losing that megastructure would. Alright, our fleet's there yet? Almost. I do believe our frigate is holding us back. This frigate has move speed of 210. Corvette's 329. It is time for the frigate. Actually, we have one Reaver here too. Where are you? Yeah, 195. He's actually really slow. So it's time for the... We had salvage things when we were exploring the galaxy. They've got to go. Now we'll group them up. We'll send them into the battle. Oh. Oh. Can my Admiral... There we go. The Admiral stayed with that frigate. Yeah. He can only have... He has a reduced fleet command size, but he has other bonuses he does. So this fourth fleet is the sacrificial lamb. They're going to go in first.
Research complete.
Get the engineering research. And we're gonna take on the matriarch. Still building our space railroad. There they go. Alright. Here we go.
Spaceborne life form encountered.
And that's that. The death of the matriarch. Go, Druskites! That went a lot better than I thought. Our victorious fleet circles the dying Tyanki matriarch. Yeah, that was quick. Her glowing flesh scored by countless blast marks. The violent thrashing of her tentacles still trying to grasp at nearby ships. The first slows, then draws abruptly to an end. At last she expires, the ancient matriarch laid to an end, like her would-be hunters before us. I feel kind of bad. At last. The Leviathan parade opportunity. Wait, or so it had seemed! Our fleet captains are reporting strange movements coming from the belly of the beast. Something is about to emerge. Battle stations! A mysterious vessel, covered in viscous fluids and damaged by digestive juices, blasts its way out of the corpse of the fallen Tyanki matriarch. Our fleet stands at the ready, but the ship immediately powers down its weapons and engines after emerging. They are hailing us on screen. It's Rethundel, the renowned Paragon. This is the Captain Rethundel of the AH-4B, the Ahab. Long have I suffered the caustic bowels of that fell beast. Decades ago I came to hunt it, to repay a debt long overdue. Alas, I could not lay this baleful matriarch to an end, and when she had swallowed the Ahab whole, I was certain I would never see again the light of the stars. I am glad to see I was mistaken. For putting my nightmare to rest, I would pledge my life and loyalty, and my ship, to the Druskish Enlightened Kingdom. Do you only hunt Tyanki? Oh no. I've spent years bringing down anything that traverses the stars. Amoebas, crystals, nightmarish entities beyond our realm of understanding. I've hunted it all. If you want, I can even hunt down the most dangerous prey. He is an admiral. He has the elite status of an aggressor, so he gets extra fire rate. His ethic doesn't match ours if we put him on the council. It's okay. But he has a unique trait from Hell's Heart. From Hell's Heart, he stabs at him. When it comes to warfare, this leader is mercilessly obsessive and singular in purpose. This is Moby Dick, by the way. If you hadn't caught on, this is our Captain Ahab, and he had been defeated by Moby Dick. And if you ever read the book, well, I won't give spoilers. Anyway, he gives, for the fleet that he's in charge of, 10% fire rate, 10% damage, 10% move speed, less evasion, less disengagement chance, so most of the ships are going to die. But he also gets 50% more resources from the Material Liberator and Shipbreaker. So if we're salvaging, we get more things. Yeah, we got a few things you could shoot at. In addition, he has Material Liberator. Okay, so enemy fleets that he destroys, he gets credits. And Shipbreakers, enemy fleets that he destroys gives alloys. So if he kills stuff, it's going to give us income. And he's cool. Right? Look at that. He's cool. Now we can say welcome aboard, and we probably will. But I have to admit, I'm a little nervous about our leader capacity here. Time for the next trophy. And he comes with a ship. A battleship. Yeah, he can't argue with it. There's the Ahab. Look at that. Very cool. So the Ahab has Devastator torpedoes. It's a torpedo boat. I don't know how long it's going to live, but oh, these are the Where's the range? Yeah, 0 to 30. Yeah, this is what I thought. So this is a close range torpedo. You know, suicide, get in their torpedo boat, you know, PT boat type thing where they get in close to the big ships and fire the torpedoes. So I don't know how long it'll be around, but it does give us 1,000 damage. Yeah, that's some fleet power. By itself, it's almost 10k as far as fleet power goes. What's its speed? 265. So it is going to be slow. I mean, for a battleship, it's actually pretty fast. The 4th fleet is still getting deleted. But the Ahab... Oh, can I not, Why can't I add ships to this? Can't merge it. So Ahab is just going to be solo. Aw. We'll have to move the Admiral off of him when we get another fleet for him. Oh, but importantly, we now have access to the system, which has 3 planets, 2 of which are Gaia worlds, so that's good. That's very exciting. That's partly why we were doing the colony progress increase. Oh good, we do actually have a system that would give us some dark matter too. We can get some income of that.
Blocker cleared.
Oh good, and the Fivorians are now being converted even more. It should tell us the details here in a second. There we go. They'll thank us one day. They're abandoning their warlike ways. Ah, they're supposed to abandon the xenophobe. Yeah, they're pacifists and spiritualists, but they're still xenophobes. One more go. You know, we do have more influence now. I could go to our neighbors. Who are we most friendly with? These are our little guys. These guys. Yeah, we can do some research treaties and things. Oh, notice this. Oh my. Relative power. Interesting. Because we've been building up our fleet, we actually are competitive all of a sudden. We have an equivalent to most of the galaxy on fleet strength. Except for the warrior clans. The fanatical purifiers are only superior. That's not as much as overwhelming. That means that the warrior clans up here are actually superior. It looks like a big part of it's economic. Wow. That is interesting. Hive mind's like, I want to get a trade agreement. I want to get some money here. We already have a commercial pact with these guys. Yeah, the warrior clans, I'm sure they had no choice. I agree. We've got several favors. We'll call in a favor to get this research treaty. The hive mind. Yeah, just alt consciousness can't do that. But this would give us 70 for a commercial pact. That's more than what we have right now. See if we can get another commercial still. That was those guys. What about these guys? Another 70. Okay. I'm gonna feel good about that. Ah, the artisans. Yes, yes. Of course, we only have 7,000. We're about to get more. But yes, we will accept all these things.
Research complete.
There we go. Plus 200. 250. Can still activate the L gates. There's the habitability modification. I'm gonna do that. I feel bad that I converted their homeworld. Ah yes, and the relic activation. We can get 82,000 energy credits. Seems okay. Oh yes, and this is the one that gives us allows every ship to make jumps. Very cool. I think it's really no beating just 80,000 credits out of nowhere. Even though I'm maxed at 75. Let's spend some. That's right, we got the new hyperdrive. Don't know why our consumer goods just dropped. Oh, a diplomatic insult from the Annihilators. Your sickening species is definite proof that the universe has a sense of humor. Druskite. Wow, wanton abuse like this cannot be overlooked. Our relationship with the Mishran Annihilators has declined. We do have a spy network. We haven't done anything with it. We can steal some technology. Let's acquire an asset. If we can get the asset, we'll actually have a better chance to do everything else in the future. So it's going to be a way to modify our science, our spy stuff.
Ships upgraded. Ships upgraded. Ships upgraded. System survey complete.
Okay, the 3 planets here. Motes and gas. Good. Crystals. And Titanic life! There's Titans living on that Arctic world. There we go. Defensive war. We got that set. Ooh. The regenerating flagella. The dirge for the... I forgot, I didn't even mention this. Sorry, guys. I didn't even mention this is a cool thing. If you beat a Leviathan, you have an opportunity to parade it around in your empire. So we have a dirge. Because we love aliens. So it's a morning. The Titanic matriarch opportunity. Even with our xeno-contamination precautions, something went wrong. As the matriarch's flagella entered Twitch's capital, it somehow got in contact with one of the handlers, and instantly the flagella started reacting. Pulsating, ripping appendages began growing from the trophy, first forming an indistinct, churning mass of flesh. Over time, it became more detailed, and to our surprise, it assumed the shape of the unfortunate handler. It seems like the regenerative powers of the matriarch have accepted the DNA of our kind and are now in the process of generating more Druskites. I could use this to feed the onlookers. This will increase the amount of unity the opportunity will produce. So we could. I don't know how. I don't know in what way this is feeding anyone. Unless. Or let the reaction run its course. We can get an extra Druskite pop. I don't need the food. I kind of want to see what happens. I mean, we're just creating clones. Let's do it. Oh, there's an ad break. I don't know if anyone's interrupted. I want them to see what we're choosing. Okay, there was an ad break, so I waited. I think we're gonna let the reaction run its course. You get a free Druskite pop. We won't ask how he got here.
Research complete.
So we can encourage it. Yeah, we're gonna encourage this. Species. There he is. Maybe. Just got another Druskite. It's been a minute since we looked at all these. Make sure we've got the majority of our people. Like this guy needs to be upgraded.
Situation log updated.
Oh, and we did have the leader enhancement. I guess we already have it going. No, I guess it's gone. Science. Artisan output seems important since we are negative there. I don't mind at all. What kind of church am I pastor for? A non-denominational church. But if you were to align my own theological position with a denomination, if that helps people kind of figure out where I'm at, it'd probably be closest with Baptist. So hope that helps. And if you're like, well, what's Baptist? You know, we can explain. But the church itself was formerly a different denomination. I won't mention which, but we had actually yeah, I went to non-denominational. There you go. We had actually left it wasn't a Baptist denomination. The church was a different denomination. I had joined them because of the people are amazing there, and so that's when I was hired on. But the denomination had a theological position that the church was unaware of. I learned of, I shared with the church, and we decided we needed to leave. We went with a long process. We actually tried to talk with the denomination, say, hey, are you sure this is where you want to stand on things? And they were set in their ways. And so we went non-denomination. But I preach a lot closer to Baptist than what the denomination that they thought they were. They actually, when we found out what the denomination taught, they were like, this isn't us anyway. So they really weren't that denomination. The people weren't.
Construction complete.
All right. So we're gonna colonize, but I want to terraform this as well. I don't remember if I can terraform while I'm colonizing. But I can certainly terraform it once it's colonized, so I might as well go ahead and do that. So, colonize. Go ahead and send the founder species here. Next one. So that was prime. Now we click colonize, and then we're going to do this again. And because there is not a prime in the game yet, it thinks that this one is prime. But we know better. We just gave the order for one that would be prime. This one will be secondus. Click a third time. Colonize. Oh, apparently some of our Druskites have decided to go cybernetic. When did that happen? Maybe that was the guy we got from the Tyanki. I don't know, but we've got cybernetic that are not psychics. They've turned to the machine. Oh, and we are that short of alloy. We can't even do it. We're going to convert this planet, so I don't mind sending my people there. Low habitability, yes, but we're gonna terraform it. And this is Tertius. If I spell that right. So with that sent, I am going to go ahead and start terraforming. Your mom was raised Baptist. Dad is Reformed. Yep. There's actually a lot of Reformed Baptists out there. Reformed is not a denomination in and of itself. It is a subcategory that is actually in quite a few denominations. And dinner can get fun. I believe it. I believe it. Baptist, so Reformed, aside from the, like I just said, aside from the Reformed Baptists, just put that aside for a second. I think Baptists annoy Reformed to no end at all. So there's like in Protestant churches, there is a question that has been asked and debated on since the beginning of the Protestant Reformation. John Calvin, Joseph, I think, Arminius. Joseph's like the next generation, but regardless, their theology was on difference on basically the balance between God being sovereign of everything, meaning you have no choice in anything because whatever happens is because of God, and then the other side of thing is man having free will. And if man has free will and able to choose anything, then God isn't actually choosing it for you, meaning God is actually kind of sitting back and very passive, letting man do everything. So is God doing everything, or is man doing everything? And of all the denominations, and pretty much every denomination is on one side of that spectrum or the other. But the Baptists they're just kind of like, you know what? We think it's both. And it's infuriating to both sides, because both sides are like, you can't have it both ways. And Baptists saying, yeah, I can. And that's actually where I'm at on things. And so I would imagine dinner conversations would get quite interesting. Because these are things that people are like, they get up in arms over and they get all upset over, and the Baptists are just like, yeah, I think both are right, and they just get mad. The Reformed are all like, you can't do that.
Species modified.
I have not heard MacArthur's recent. I do try to keep up on where MacArthur's at on things, but I have not heard his most recent take. I respect the guy. I have tons of respect for the guy. But when it comes to sovereignty, I'm going to be like, well, I'll listen with a grain of salt. Yeah, we want the research. 10% more science. It's good stuff. Yes, more science. Very good. Is there any debris to salvage? I don't think there's debris. See any? Yeah, we must have it. It's grayed out because we don't have a debris field. Okay. I'm thinking about putting a couple more anchorages out and around. I was just trying to see if there's a strategic spot. Oh, the dirge has completed. A bright day greeted the packed crowds on Twitch today as the procession of carrying our proof of the destruction of the Tyanki matriarch traveled through the moon's cities. The Paradise's progress was broadcast throughout the empires to billions of viewers. The matriarch's flagella already seems to have becoming a staple of Druski's culture, inspiring artists and creators across Druski's enlightened kingdom. Yes, this definitely sounds like Twitch being inspired. It definitely sounds appropriate. After finishing the world tour, the matriarch's flagella were placed in a specialized display at the center of the capital to inspire generations to come. Today was a good day for all Druskites. So Twitch now has the matriarch's flagella modifier added. Organic pop assembly. Wow, we can now, because we allowed it to eat a guy and it started reproducing, we're actually letting it continue, and for now on, every month it's gonna add population through a specialized cloning procedure. I'll show you in a second. We lose a little stability. I think people are a little unsure about having it eat them, but hey, we're getting more population. Lots of unity is gained. Today was a good day. So if I go over to Twitch, if I look at our population, normally you have, this is the natural growing stat here. As this bar fills up, you get another population. Now, when the month concludes, we now are getting 1.2, because we have an actual pop job assisting this. We're getting 1.2 extra pops being made. A clone, there it is. The clone is being generated by the flagella. So normally we're getting 3 points a month. We're now getting an extra 1.2 points a month, and we are on a second guy. Yes, yes. The Clone Wars have begun. Oh, the Composer of Strands, here we go. Speaking of cloning, the Composer of Strands has bestowed its blessings upon us, directly altering the genetic code of the Druskite species. Nothing could go wrong. Strangely, the rapid and unpredictable mutations have provoked no more than a very muted reaction. Oh, actually sounds pretty good. It seems our population has come to treat the random and unpredictable mutations as little more than a normal part of life. Hardly worthy of outrage or even discussion. Yeah, what are the results? The Druskites are randomly mutated. Here we go. I didn't think it'd be fully random. So right now we've made a nice species that has all pluses, no negatives, all focused on leaders and science. It's quite nice. What are the results?
Spaceborne life form encountered.
Wow. Okay. We just lost the intellectual trait and gained the communal trait. And we don't have any more trait picks left. Oh no. I don't have any more trait picks, so I can't actually change it. We just lost 10% science, but gained more housing, so we can have more pops. We're using 10% less housing. Wow. However, do we have the old species down here? Hold on. I could convert everyone to the old template and convert them all to intelligence again. I could create this template and then convert them to this template here. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I want to keep the science. We are intelligent sloths. Thank you very much.
Situation log updated.
6 months, we fixed the problem.
Spaceborne life form encountered.
Not sure who that is. Oh, I forgot about that place. I totally forgot that this guy was way out here with the wormhole connecting to our capital. Totally forgot. It's cool. That's right. We also just got the research labs. There it is, Research Institute. This gives across the whole planet a 15% researcher output and a special science director job who does researcher too. So you need to go to all our science world. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that must be the... Yep. The colony ship got canceled because we're terraforming that planet. Edicts. There is a terraforming gas. We can speed up the terraforming process. There we go.
Construction complete. Species modified.
Go. True Skites should be returned. There it is. To the better version of us.
Research complete.
Ooh, the defense grid. Let's grab it. So this is something I can put on my star bases to allow for more defense platforms. I haven't built defense platforms because we don't have the alloys, but we might need it.
Colonization in progress. Colonization in progress. Research complete.
gonna get this leader capacity because we're over capacity.
Situation log updated. Research complete.
You want us to have minus 100% diplomatic weight for 10 years? No, they're mad. There's another Druskite for sale. We can't, we'd have to modify the species again. It's really not worth it. But we do want to get that other planet up and running, don't we? All right. I could just buy up all these guys and set them free. It's just this costs a lot. The Shroud is accessible again. Here we go. Take the greatest of care. Even a stray thought can be shaped into something tangible in this place and, more often than not, turned against oneself. We're reaching in to the Shroud. Something speaks to us here. Something wonderful. It increase our ship speed or army morale. We're going to exit. We're going to exit. We don't need either of those. And we don't want to risk the failure.
Species modified.
Checking our espionage progress. Stage 1 out of 3 is done. We finished the species. So now, basically, I terraformed their planets. They're almost done terraforming anyway. That's the progress here. So, 130 days. I'm getting the species ready for the new planet type.
Situation log updated.
Get these guys. We'll get these guys as well. That's 30 more, 40 more pops. It's quite a bit. Some of these we still haven't done the original modification, so that'll be worth it. Ah, yes, the gene modification. So I'm using it, but I didn't do genetic ascension. Genetic ascension is actually pretty great. It's pretty amazing. But we went psionic, but what's been interesting is just we do have the points to spare. So we're modifying all these species. Because I'm terraforming the planets to all be tropical or better. I want to have the species able to live on there, because if they can't, then all of their things cost more and they're less productive. So we don't want that. So we'll go to our Cardu guys. These guys we never actually we had this template. We're gonna modify that template, make it tropical, update it. Oh, we have to scroll back down. There it is. So this is using the 3 trait points. It's also gonna make them tropical. Apply the template.
Situation log updated.
So we'll just convert them to that. It also gets rid of the negatives.
Construction complete.
What I don't like, I like messing around with the species genetics and all this. I don't like messing around when you got 100 different types, because we're xenophile. We allow all the refugees, and it just so happens that half the galaxy is refugees because of the Annihilators here. So we've got way more variety. You know, all the things about diversity is our strength. It is a pain, though, to deal with. It's a pain to modify everybody individually.
Species modified.
Because it's the individual pops are not expensive to modify, but you always have a flat amount of 3 months minimum, or 3,000 research or whatever minimum, which means I'm never actually able to research this thing as long as I'm doing these modified. I go through and delete these just to clean this up. Can't delete the original. I can delete one of the modifications. Just so it's less. Find it again. It is.
Situation log updated.
It's always the 3 months there. Gaia World.
Research complete.
Oh, good. That should be our last time we need to mess with the guys down there. Supercomputer. We got that lets us put more defensive stations. Is it time? I always try to rush to the point where you can terraform planets into Gaia worlds and then don't bother with the rest. Yeah, they never can live on that. So I'm actually just ignoring the Gaia world thing. I'm just making everyone fit on tundra or tropical. I've just said, well, tropical is my Gaia world. I'm just making everyone adapt to that. Are we activating the L gates, people? I kind of want to. We need to get this armor and upgrade that. I mean, for no particular reason, but we need to have that. Our fleet's upgraded. Do we need to know? I think we need to know. 16 months. Okay, yeah, the planet's finished terraforming. So they'll be happier now that we're modifying all these. Oh, there's so many. Yeah, because he wants to be an Alpine. They're not. We don't have any Alpines, so those 12 guys are definitely suffering.
Situation log updated.
Good, good, good. There's the Fevorian societal shift. There they are. They are now just like us. We might just go ahead and plant some advanced knowledge, get them up to speed. There's the armor. Look, I still have just corvettes. It's amazing. Metallurgist. We're gonna need the alloy, and that is enough. That's 2 levels of armor that we didn't have. We're still level 2, but now level 4. Upgrade everything just in time for the, you know, just in case we need to have some ships that are, you know, up to date when this L gate gets opened. Yes, Cardell. We celebrate diversity, but you must be like us. We'll leave the social commentary of real life and the similarities aside. Ooh, confidence waivers. A group of auxiliary operatives and the mission annihilators. Remember, I was trying to secure an asset to get better espionage. Has been shying away from their assigned tasks, citing a lack of confidence in their overall purpose. Spymaster Buknar would be typically handle such matters without bringing them to our attention, but even without them knowing any details, these operatives seem unusually well informed about Operation Acquire Asset, and perhaps the spy network as a whole. Given that these auxiliaries are kept isolated from our more active and better informed agents, Banukar suspects that the operatives are being fed information from an outside source. He also concedes that they may be simply highly perceptive individuals. Given these doubts, and the threats posed by Operation Acquire Asset by every scenario, Spymaster Buknar requests a directive on how to proceed. Cut him loose, and we would lose a little bit of money, but also slow down the progress. Or let's see where the insights might lead. We have a 9% of an unwavering insight, which means it'll be good, or a 90% of a failure, which would bring us back over to here. Let's just go ahead and cut them loose. We don't need the Annihilators declaring war on us just yet. The risks are too great.
Species modified.
It never ends. Gaia World, you guys should be fine. We've got a couple Gaia Worlds. Savannah needs to be upgraded here.
Situation log updated.
I might do the Sinrath here because they've got 9, but when we get down to the 4, actually this guy's already ocean, but the 4, it's probably not worth the effort. Oh, we got the asset. A successful execution so far. We have secured access to an official within the Michelin civic hierarchy. This asset will be kept secure but poised, ready to assist us with future operations, particularly when we might brush up against diplomatic or governmental issues. Excellent. Espionage. There he is. We have a clerk. A common clerk, unhappy with their job, eager for a little excitement in their life. Spy network modifier, operation modifier. So if we do things that use either subterfuge or diplomacy, like stealing technology, we can put them on the job and we'll get better results. We need to have our infiltration higher. We lose infiltration when we complete a mission, so we have to rebuild it. We're gonna wait, and he might be able to help us steal some tech. Let us not forget, we are currently researching.
Upgraded. Species modified.
The L gates. Last species. Last one we're going to bother with. Until they get just more numbers.
Situation log updated.
Yeah, American in a nutshell.
Ships upgraded. Ships upgraded.
Now we have 2 L gates. This one actually has the space railroad here. This one doesn't, but it's close to our capital. I think we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna get that railroad.
Species modified.
All right, we're gonna leave the species alone for now. Okay. They have discovered us. This is their the old hunters. The Favorian, if you don't recall, our species, our people, 100 years prior to the game's start, we were attacked. It was these guys. They sent a mass driver asteroid across the cosmos trying to shoot at our planet to wipe us out, and they missed. They hit a nearby planet in our solar system. We found them. They've devolved back down into nobodies who don't have space travel. Now they just got space travel back, and they've discovered that we're here observing them. And here's what they say. Greetings, observers. It is said that our ancestors tried to end you. For that, we apologize. Frankly, we are surprised that you didn't return the favor. Yeah, I can see that. Many centuries have passed since then, and we would like to believe that we are different people now. No doubt thanks to you as well. Yes. Yeah, quite a bit so. we have modified them quite a bit. We wish to give the universe a second chance. Would you allow us to explore it with you? I could say you may, and we would get the triumvirate modifier added. We get a bonus civic slot. So we have a triumvirate. We have our people, the people of Den who are fearful of these guys, and then we have these guys. They look like a tortoise with a shell. Yes. Tradition cost from empire size reduced by 40%. It's incredible. Incredible. And we become the new owner of Fervor. We would incorporate them into our people. Or we can tell them that they can just do their own way. We'll return give them their own home system, and they would become a subgroup, a vassal of us. Absolutely, though. We're going to do the triumvirate. We're going to incorporate them. They were once our enemies. Now they are our friends. And this is loving our enemies is a biblical principle. So here we go. You may. Oh yeah, they found our spy. Despite their modest technology, even the Favorian survivors have taken notice of our activity. Yes, sorry. Okay, so there was a specialty thing that happened because those were the people that we interacted with. This is here us making official greeting that would have happened with anybody being uplifted into the space realm. So we're gonna call them friends. And we have unspent civic points, so we have a whole extra civic. Now what's crazy about this, having a fourth civic does not exist anywhere else. So this is a massive improvement to our empire to be able to have a fourth civic. So what we can do is we can modify a pretty major thing. We can have all edicts cost 20%. That's not major. Pop amenities usage reduced. Oh yeah, this let you build ranger jobs are not what we're looking for here either. Immigration, master crafters. This would make it so that our consumer goods, our buildings doing artisans would actually be way more consumer goods. They'd get trade value. They get building slots. Thered be a lot of benefit there. That's actually like the strongest one. Merchant guilds just get merchant jobs. Clerks, we get just tons more income. Mining guilds, we get more mining from miners. More minerals from miners. Now, I've done this quite a few times. A police state, because it gives 5 stability, which is actually an awesome stat. And we have telepaths on like all of our planets. We would get an extra unity from every telepath. Stability, though, is at 100%. 85, 91, 90, 78, 86, 86 high. So we're mid to high 80s, if not higher. The only one different is the one we just got here, and they've got, they're new to our people. We're assimilating them. That's why they're not too sure about that. So let's go back to here. We don't necessarily need stability. Vaults of knowledge. You can build a unique Vaults of Knowledge. Produces unity and increases leader experience gain based on destiny traits acquired. Counselor skills higher. It does help out with leaders. Being a free haven, yeah, we actually have this CGF Master. 4 months now. 4 Steves for 4 months. Thanks for being such a consistent and faithful sub. I'm glad you're having fun though. This has been a unique journey. I've enjoyed this whole thing. I like the theme of being a free haven just because that has really been a theme of our people. We're having the tired, the poor, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. All are welcome here, regardless of their species of origin. 50% immigration pull. Like, we would just get a ton of people joining us all the time. Oh yeah, that's actually quite nice. So the bureaucrats and priests provide edicts funds, scaling with their unity production. That would let us actually do more edicts. Quite a bit more, in fact. Instead of having like 100, we'd get like 200 or 300. We could actually use some of these things. One of the ones that's really interesting that I'm tempted by here is the Ascensionist. Did the bird people end up accepting you even though they harbored faction? Yeah, so you've been out of it for a little while. Yeah, they all are like, everyone loves us, and it's partly because everyone is totally terrified of those guys, the Annihilators, who are a third of the galaxy. In fact, we, the peaceful sloths, have been building up a fleet in preparation for their inevitable approach to our borders. Ascensionist is interesting. Yes, subtle, very subtle. The ultimate goal of this empire is to ascend to an even greater levels of fulfillment. And so this would mean your planets, when you have a planet, for example, here's a farming world. The farming world is giving farmer output by 25%. Simple. Building new districts are built faster too, but you get more food when it is a farming world. I can choose to ascend the farming world. It costs unity. Now, eventually you run out of things to spend your unity on, and we've got a good unity income, so it's good to have something to spend it on. And what this would do is it would reduce the empire size effect, so science would be less reduced, and increase the effect of the designation by 25%. So instead of being a 25% increase, it's not a 50, it's that 25% goes up by 25%. So what is that? 6.5%, 6.25% more. So it'd be a 31.25% more food, but I can do the ascension like 10 times. So potentially on whatever world I decide to do that on, this one is getting extra food, this one's getting extra priest output, but we could drastically increase all of that. We have our tech world, right? Well, researcher upkeep reduced. That actually isn't all that great, but we could definitely have to where the planets are better at what they do, but it's a late game thing. We're not ready to use that yet. I think I'm leaning towards the bureaucracy thing, or the free haven just for the theme of it, thematicness. Oh, did they make progress against the warrior clans? I'll have to look. I'm gonna do bureaucracy. You can change it later, just cost the 5,000. Oh, that's right. It does. Because we just added a new type available, the superintendent here, it just reset everything. Alright, I know we had our grand storyteller, Cardella. I think we had Lord Chancellor. Yeah, oopsie. Counselor experience gain? I think we're gonna do priest output. Although, does that change? Who did we have over there? Oh yeah, we did have this guy. Because we were getting the unity. And in a year, we'll be able to unlock this, put something else up there. Warrior clans. It doesn't look like they're at war right now. Oh, the warrior clans have a defensive pact with the Star Collective. So if the Annihilators attack one, they are on a two-front war. Look at that. I think the warrior clans have actually grown. Either that or our intelligence about them has grown, so we can see more clearly. It's very interesting. My problem is I'm not so much worried about the Star Collective warrior. The purple guys, I feel, are a soft target. I feel like if these guys decide to go through purple, they will end up on our border. Whoa. Apparently there's a war going on. Not even paying attention. Yeah, they're at war with the... Gray is defeating purple. They're at twice the war exhaustion. So look at this. Gray is actually gobbling up purple here. And we weren't even paying attention. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that our neighbors are, you know, they're dying. Alright, we're going to terraform your world. Population. Yeah, these guys are going to need to be terraformed to, like the type of planet. I'll wait on that for a second, though, just because it's still desert for a while. You're going to get Gene Clinic to grow faster, even though I know it doesn't technically help. Because you got to have people working it. Yeah, Rage War while the Annihilators are on your border. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Empty quarries. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. These guys had mined out everything. All the minerals on their whole world was totally mined out because they wanted to use the minerals to shoot at us and everyone else. That was back in the day. They've moved on. This planet might just become another industry world, though. If we're gonna be doing this, we've got to have the alloy. Oh, we do have another leader? Hey, we've got the top... Yes. We have the highest influence in the galaxy. Obviously, this will be, you know, for the good of all. That's... We really care about the lesser people out there. More of our species on the slave market. It's not worth 4,000. It's very expensive. Oh, that one's got a similar.
Council agenda available. Incoming transmission.
The L cluster. Our scientists, I kind of forgot. Our scientists are now confident that our knowledge of the L gates and the technology behind them is sufficient to abort their maintenance cycle. If the attempt is successful, the L gate in the Maw of the Trusair, this one, should allow immediate access to the distant L cluster. As the maintenance cycle ends, any additional L gates in the galaxy will likely also become operational within a matter of years. That'd be our other one. And elsewhere around the galaxy. As their self-correcting software readjusts, still, this will give us a significant head start to explore the cluster without interference. Prepare the project.
Situation log updated.
We gotta move the fleet back over. And, you know, now seems like a good time to you know, update our defense platform design. It seems it's a good time for that. No particular reason. I do not have a large weapon tech because I have corvettes. I haven't been focusing on that at all. It's just a good time. And you know what? Let's test out the design. Just build a few over here. They're not gonna be stopping if anything wants to get through. I'm pretty sure of that. But go get a little bit more of those. So we have the situation locked to activate the L gate whenever we're ready. Elias, you are the chosen one to activate the L gate when our fleet's in position. Ooh. And a ancient threat. Another Leviathan was defeated somewhere. There's that organic pop assembly.
Council agenda ready. Construction complete.
All right, lots of stuff just finished. We can expand the council. Do we need more trust cap? I think all the other AI empires love us. I don't think we need to do that. And plus, that's only a governor. Lord Chancellor can be anybody. Okay, who has something to offer? Not Gurner could give us a 7.5% increase to minerals. They're all ancient. You guys are all so old. I could put Kites on there. He's not offering really anything for the Empire-wide. It would just be cool. We could get 6% research speed. I think that's about it. 6% research speed. Oh, G-To. Oh, you're already doing it. You're already doing stuff. These guys are already have a job. We also could technically hire people. I'm not interested in it. But defense is kind of nice, given what's going on. Let's do the science. Sorry, Gurner. I'm going to do the science. Elias, you are not long for this world. At age 157, I'll let you get your first crack at it. Just so you can say you were the Lord Chancellor of the enlightened Druskish people. There you go. Your hyper-focus is adding research. 6% research. Oh yes, we have to do a new agenda. I think it is time to get our border secured. Just making sure what else is out there. We could get a bunch of unity. Diplomatic weight. Leadership experience. Psionic research. Pop growth speed. Nice. This reduces naval capacity but increases trust and all that. I think it's the border security. So now I want to sacrifice a chancellor. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I mean, you're over there investigating L gates. It'll be fine. Two moats, so we need 2 more slots. So the Annihilators, their fleet strength was about 300,000 when we last looked. Our fleet strength is now about 100,000. But they don't always send all of them in one time. And we can. And then if we were to add in our defensive station, which is at 50,000, and if we were to put defensive satellites there around it, we'd probably add another 20, 30,000. We might be able to make a defensive stand. The fleets have arrived. Elias, our Lord Chancellor, is going to research activating the L gate. I think I might have remembered this wrong. I think I need to actually be back down here. I think I do need to be back down there. It's okay. We got a space railroad. It's pretty fast to move now.
Research complete.
So happy for you. What a great honor. Ah, yes. Hey, defensive hull platform. Yes, let's pick that up. Let's pick that up. I need to remind everyone I have company coming over in maybe half hour, so I don't know exactly when. I wasn't actually planning on it. Apparently I was informed. Construction efforts.
Research complete.
Oh, 2 years of Starbase. Yeah, whatever, sure. I'm not really gonna use that. Leader capacity, good. We have 5 active volcanoes. We can get rid of that. Edicts Fund. 2, 0 of those. Let's get rid of volcanoes. 1 of those. And then I need to remember, we were gaining, our priests now give us Edict Fund. So we were at about 100, now we're at 250. I can actually add in another one of these for free. Get even more priest output, that'd be more unity. Bureau of Espionage gives us another envoy, that would translate into diplomatic weight. I could do mining subsidies, but that's going to increase energy credit cost of the guys doing mining. Or I could do capacity subsidies, which just increases our energy outright. Most of our energy is coming from trade, not from jobs. So the capacity subsidy is not going to be that much. Just a ton of immigration pull. I could get stability across my empire. This is why one of the networked hyper relay network effect. So if I do something like this, network dominance, we get 3 stability on every planet that's connected to the network, which I've been trying to get to be every planet. You've seen I've been making this little thing here. So that's actually probably a good one. I could also make it to where it's cheaper for me to move guys around. Amenities are cheaper. Let's do this. And I think I can still also afford the Veneration of Saints, so that's going to give us a little more unity. And then this gives us a little bit to grow into, because as we gain population and stuff, it increases in cost.
Special project complete.
Oh no! We pried open the gate of the L cluster, only to find something waiting for us on the other side. After the old wound in subspace has been torn open, but before the L gates had been fully stabilized, it broke through! A giant creaster, hastily dubbed the L Drake, has emerged into the Harmonious Repose system. And frenzied reports indicate that similar scenes are playing out in all L gate systems across the galaxy. The Harmonious Repose specimen does not appear hostile. And it's already on the move. It appears to be searching for something. Projections put its final destination at the Sinistra system. It is unlikely to find whatever it's looking for there. Alarming. Search. Sinistra. They're going to a planet right next to our capital. Alarming.
Spaceborne life form encountered.
There it is. A space dragon. Or drake. Drake. Yes, it's a small dragon. Alright, Elias. You survived. And the L gate is now open. You can explore it. There it is. We have a whole cluster of stars just outside the galaxy. You got to find out what's over there. Actually, we'd do well to send somebody else to go with you. Baby Drewski on the way.
Spaceborne life form encountered.
Check this out. It's a nanite world. Ah, tradition available. We can finish our unyielding tradition. We get more fortress, more starbase capacity, and we will finish this. Will give us 50% more defense platform cap, 20% less starbase upkeep cost, the Martial Alliance Federation type, and of course a new Ascension perk. Can become a defender of the galaxy. Actually, Eternal Vigilance, I think I want to do, because this gives us 50% defense platform cap. This gives us 5 more defense platform caps. So it's actually 7, and on top of all the ones that we have, I like the idea of it. So that means we just looked at that one that was 50. Our station was 50,000. Now it's 67,000, and we don't have any defense platforms yet because we just can't afford the alloys. But we're getting there. We're getting there to where a station might just be able to hold the line with their fleet helping, but we might be able to hold the line. Tando, thanks for the follow. I hope you've been enjoying our journey here. I certainly have been. Need more crystals.
Research complete.
There's defense platform hull points increase. I think I can actually... Do we actually get our destroyers? Maybe it's time to start researching destroyers. Ooh, we can now get anomalies up here. Because it's discovering a new place. So we found a debris field. Sensors report a number of possible points of interest within the dense debris field surrounding Tau Arl 6. Check it out, Elias.
Incoming transmission.
Oh, we did that. We actually need a lot more exotic gases. Didn't realize that we're going to cost that much. I don't know where to put it. Non-aggression pact. Nexus. Where are you? Oh, yes. Sure. Yeah, yeah. We don't need you threatening us or anything. Migration treaty. I now have the influence to do things like this, and our immigration is just huge. So we will be pulling them down to us faster than they will be going to them. Will our fleet be hunting down the drake? It is a peaceful drake. Don't you just try to go murdering our pet drakes. What? Cardella, you monster. Look at him, he's peaceful. Can you... Look at that face. I mean, look at that.
Research complete.
Ah, this is the anomaly. This is not the drake. We've discovered a fossilized remain of a gargantuan gastropod, matching no previously encountered life form, trapped within a huge block of ice circling Tau RL6. Its eyes glare fiercely ahead, tentacles reared and muzzled, twisted in a gruesome grimace, as if locked in a silent shout. The creature displays no apparent signs of sapience. Despite its eerie visage, our scientists believe that if domesticated, the creature could make a valuable asset. They recommend extracting some of its DNA for cloning. Well, of course we must do this. We're not going to space the abomination. We could send it to a museum. We did that earlier. But absolutely we're going to clone it. Nothing could go wrong. I'm sure 100% of the time this is a good thing. Get that survey speed so you're actually surveying something. Yeah, we already cloned some douche guys, so another... Yeah, piece of cake. Exactly.
Special project complete.
That special project was the clone. Alright, I guess we're good. Just nothing happened.
Research complete.
Our society research is so far behind because we kept doing all of the research and genetic manipulation there. Okay, we can make destroyers. We might as well go ahead and get the rest. We're gonna get cruisers. It is time. Ah, some dark matter.
Anomaly found.
Something smells. Baby Drewski's scans indicate the presence of a foreign, alien-made object on one of the many frozen mountaintops. Check it out. You know what? I'm going to cancel that job of building the relay because you actually need to go here. We want to be colonizing this. So here's the deal with the... yeah, because they're out exploring this too. So with the L cluster, that's what this is called. There are gates, L gates all over the galaxy. We had two of them, but there are L gates all over the galaxy. Terminal egress is the hub. The hub for the many spokes of that wheel. So all of those gates lead to the gate in terminal egress. You can go from terminal egress to any other L gate in the galaxy. Meaning, terminal egress is suddenly the focal point of reaching basically anywhere in the galaxy. We don't want that falling into the wrong hands at all. So that suddenly just changes everything. If you have a shipyard station, you want it near or at an L gate on our side of it, so that way we can send ships through it, reaching terminal egress, and then the reinforcing ship. You know, if you're just reinforcing a fleet that's somewhere on the other side of the galaxy, there's always an L gate nearby. The reinforcements will go through terminal egress and go straight there, as opposed to traveling conventionally. And so I think we're actually going to repurpose this station, which was defensive for no particular reason, into a new shipyard. Our existing shipyard, we might even repurpose as well. Got that naval yard, that's a specialty thing. So our existing one is over here. It doesn't really have a strategic location. Basically, all it is it's a decently close place to this front line, and then it's along the pathway to that front line. Like, at the time when we built it, we hadn't expanded up this way, and so it was central. It was central. There's no other front line down here. This is a dead end. But that was the intent. That's why we built it here. There's really no major advantage to being here unless this actually does become a front line, because this is closer than way over here. So I could keep it, and reinforcements will always be built at the closest starbase. Or I can convert this into an anchorage, which would give us more naval capacity for just larger fleets. For the moment, it's not a huge rush either way.
Research complete.
This is Baby Drewski, has recovered an elongated metal box from the surface of Yakari 7 Beta. Clusters of small perforations on 5 sides lead to Science Officer Baby Drewski to believe it is not a container, but some sort of aerosol dispersed device. Initial tests seem to confirm their suspicions, as trace aromatics still emanate from the object. A special project has been issued to confirm whether this might be an information-carrying device constructed by some alien race, communicating primarily through secretion and reception of atmospheric biome chemical compounds. Smells malodorous.
Situation log
Do an oil
updated.
factory study. Survey speed increased, survey says. If you play Stellaris, it is very useful to know that if you hold Control Shift and right click something, you can add it to the top of a queue, not just to the end of the queue. So he already had a queue of researching all these things, going to the next system. I just put this at the top of the queue. So he's going to do that first without having to change his mission. Now I can hold Shift and click the next planet, and that will be at the end of the queue. Just Shift is the end of the queue. So he'll finish the project, finish the system, go down here, and then it'll go up there.
Construction complete. Special project complete.
The box is indeed a document of a sort. Science Officer Baby Drewski admits that they had been hoping for a historical record of some other kind of codex, significant to whatever culture left it behind, but they were disappointed. The true nature of the aromatic box seems to be a collection of fairly short narratives, which, going by the rapid changes in odor towards the end of each sequence, are intended to surprise or be interpreted as comedic. The techniques used to store and reproduce specific smells is of some interest, but the tales it tells are not. The crew of the Walter Lee are left with the uncomfortable feeling that they have been unwittingly become intimately familiar with what certain gaseous byproducts of alien digestion smells like. However, Baby Drewski is unwilling to speculate as to why the box was dumped in the frozen hellscape on a planet. Yeah, the object, it's a joke. We opened up the box and it was a fart. And we studied it. But we got a bunch of society research. This one does still get tons of physics research, so we're going to still make a research lab here. Is it just me, or do the Annihilators just gobble up this whole area down here? I think they did. I think they are bigger than they were a moment ago. There are some active volcanoes. These other guys have become xenophobe.
Research complete.
Forms are actually pretty good Unity, but I'm tempted to do the habitability because I'm still got a couple planets here that
System survey complete.
on. I guess not habitability isn't all that important right now. Let's do that. All right, we finished terminal egress. Now we claim it. Druskites stay out. Oh, they cost more now. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to stay on the slave market. I can't justify a quarter of our whole empire for one guy. Oh no! Oh no! The drums of war. For the first time in recorded history, the warring factions of the Samati have united under a single great Khan. The mysterious warlord, who according to some accounts is a powerful psychic, has emerged from their warrior caste and accomplished what most thought impossible. Through a combination of guile, charisma, and military genius, the newly crowned Great Khan has won the utter loyalty and devotion of all Sidimus factions. Now, they are no longer busy killing each other. The Samati are turning their attention elsewhere. Great fleets are massing for war, crewed by eager warriors who are now steadfast comrades in arms. Despite having been mortal enemies mere months ago, a new threat is born. Great Khan, Petals of Yellow. That's him. I am Petals of Yellow, Great Khan of the Samaterian Horde. I am here to announce to the galaxy that a new age is upon us. The dark era where Samati would senselessly butcher one another for scraps of resources or misguided sense of honor has finally come to an end. I solemnly promised my people a new beginning through the formation of a great empire that will forever enshrine the name of the Samatius species in the annals of the galactic history. To those who would stand in our way, know this. I will stop at nothing to realize the true destiny of my people. If you oppose us, the Samatian Horde will grind you into dust. Strong words from a flower. We can access the Shroud, and there they are. The Samantian Horde are about to attempt their conquest of the galaxy, and oh no, they are a mere 3 jumps from our territory. So we're moving the fleet back. Fortunately, we can move around to that L gate. We can go from north to south pretty quick now. I think our defense platform design here. I don't have the right weapons for this. I've mentioned that before, but I don't have the right weapons for it. Oops. I never pronounced the name the same way. I mean, for dramatic effect, I couldn't stop and think about it, right? Like, I mean, who does that? So there they are. A new threat.
Research complete.
Make battleships. I think we shall. The Shroud. Something dark is coming. Reach into the Shroud. An endless desert stretches before us. We've been here before. Shalakul Milam Zanak? Something emerges from the sand. It's difficult to see. Zarabi Melsaluk. The words are like thunder, spoken by a mouth from which there was never intended. We are compelled to answer. We have 2 different answers, or we could run in fear. Turit Nali Dasamara, with an exclamation point, notice, or Kanak Dikarak, with a calm, poised period. What is our response? We could do a poll. We could do a poll because these are so, so different. There's so much nuance between the two. All right. I think that I'm just going by enunciation here. He did not have to. Oh no, he did not have to. Whatever the presence is, they didn't shout it, right? I mean, it's loud, right? It's like thunder, but for them, it was just a conversational tone. There was no exclamation point. I think we responded kind. That's just me. I genuinely don't know. By the way, genuinely indeed, do not know. Here we go. Oh no, our telepaths have been overwhelmed by the intense strain that they were put under during our communication with the Shroud. They can no longer maintain the link. We have been kicked out. Now, there's also a bug in Stellaris that's been going on for like 2 years. When I claim this system,
Research complete.
I see there's an ad break, but it's not a big deal. The construction ship will claim it, but our borders won't show until we load the game a second time. Like when we exit and load, they'll be there. So this will remain looking like this until we do that. Oh, I spelled secondus differently. I said O-N-D-U-S, and it's U-N-D-U-S. Huh, that's why it's showing up there. I don't know if I'm spelling everything wrong. My life might be a lie. Spelling them all wrong.
Anomaly found.
Ooh. Baby Drewski, a wavering signal haunts Yakari 6 Beta, though it does not seem to originate from the planet's surface. You better check it out.
Colonization in progress.
Some energy. Code breaking.
Construction complete.
Oh no. The Ransomeers! An emergency buoy. An emergency transmission buoy floats in gentle orbit around Yakari 6. Its outer casing is heavily damaged, seemingly by glancing weapons fire or a powerful explosion. It might be a Drewskish model for civilian ships, designed to be ejected as an emergency measure should the comms systems fail, but the extent of the damage makes it impossible to know for certain. Its repeating is a weak, distorted signal. Well, we gotta clean it up. It could be a trap, but we're gonna clean it up. What if it's a distress call?
Situation log updated.
Now, how there could have been a distress call from a Drewskite people in a long-lost portion of the galaxy, one will never know. We also need to immediately begin upgrading the starbase. We've got to hold that starbase at all costs. So that is the most strategic point in the galaxy right now. And our horde doesn't seem to. Yeah, they're not being too aggressive yet. Oh, actually they are. They're destroying outright those. They're going north. The Ransomeers, SOS. The buoy has been verified as one of Drewskish make, and the signal is relaying it has been stabilized. Drewskish authorities, identify yourselves. Hello, this is the captain of the Luxian, a Drewskish civilian transport. Our former captain, the Luxian, is gone. We were boarded by pirates and taken captive before they blew up the ship. Who captured you? I think they call themselves ransomers? The Ransomeers? At any rate, they're a vile bunch. We'd all be dead already if they didn't think they could get something for us from the Drewskish Enlightened Kingdom. I've overheard them discussing their demands. I can say we will not rescue you, or we will rescue you. Now, we are peaceful sloths, but that doesn't mean that we don't have claws. They just move at very slow, accelerating speeds. We must rescue our people, right? Oh, thank you, Pastor. We're being held in some space station, but I have no idea where we are beyond that. I will increase the transmission burst now. It should let you triangulate the location of this prison from the emergency buoy. Position recorded in
Situation
situation
log updated.
log. Ransomir's base, where are you? There it is. Right there. Feel the wrath of the Druskish Kingdom.
Construction ship under attack.
Wow, it was right where we were building too. There's like no strength there, it's 300. The pirate base, while fairly inconspicuous, is obvious when you know what to look for. A fleet of confused formations slowly drifts out from behind the repurposed mining complex. They were obviously not expecting company. Open comms, the captives need to be ready. Hello again, Pastor. Take Druskish ships are the cause of all this commotion? Our hosts seem to be about ready to leave their post. Boarding this place would probably end badly for everyone involved, but if you attack the base directly, I think we can make a break for one of the lifeboats. Please try not to blow us up on our way out. Very obvious. Oblivious of what's to come. They're actually attacking our construction ship, and I'm a little sad about that. Run away, construction ship, here we come! Oh, meanwhile, an odd factor. Yes. A group of investigators have found a hidden factory. Remember, this is the new Gaia worlds that were in the system of the Tyanki Matriarch. A hidden factory on Tystra Prime. The building in its state of decay tells of an old civilization, one that excelled at constructing things that stood to the test of time. Our population would easily be able to use a facility to add to the colony's production output. Intriguing. An odd factory worker job has been added. I think when the month rolls over, we'll see it there.
System survey complete.
The orb! Baby Drewski's having all the fun. We have discovered powerful concentrated energy in the form of an orb. Investigation is advised. And they're gone.
Hostile station.
And they're gone. Alright, picking up the pieces. As the pirate base slowly tears itself apart, in a savage chain reaction, instigated by our military vessels, the search for the captive crew of the Luxion begins. If they made it to a lifeboat, they should be attempting to hail us by now. Scan all frequencies. Here we go. Cross your fingers, chat. Cross your fingers. It worked. Most of the time it doesn't, by the way. Pastor, this is the crew of the Luxion. The plan went off without a hitch. Once you started bombarding the base directly, the guards took to their ships and were able to break down the cell door. The lifeboats were unguarded. It seems you kept the pirates busy long enough that they did not care much about our escape. Welcome home, jailbreakers. With the crews of the Luxion safely on their way back to Twitch, disaster has been averted. The Druskish people are sure to glory in the decisive actions of the Druskish Enlightened Kingdom's pastor. The situation with the kidnapping Ransomir pirates, as well as the pirate band itself, has come to an end. Some questions remain, mainly relating to the much larger piratical navy the captains claim to have seen throughout the portholes shortly after their capture, but, considering the circumstances, it can safely be assumed that the threat appears to be much greater than it actually was. The Ransomirs are over and done with. I wonder. We get influence, and for 10 years, a happiness boost for saving our people. All right, and with that, we'll consider that a very dramatic finish. But with that, our stream must come to an end. We have company that has arrived, and so we're gonna have to save it there. We still can discover the rest of this: the mysterious drakes wandering the galaxy, the annihilators inching ever closer, the new horde on our border. A lot is happening for next time. All right, all. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have had fun. So, with that, I'll be signing off. Like I said, I hope everyone had a good time. I certainly did. We'll do more of this in the future. We'll be back in Mechabellum probably tomorrow and some other things. You guys have a good rest of your day. I hope to see you tomorrow. God bless.